What would you do as a teenager if you were locked in your house for 24 hours? Wank a lot. Play some games on my console. Games. What is something that should stop being repeated? The mentality that women cannot be rapists or abusers. History. Humanity. The Pledge of Allegiance. What is something really repetitive? Breathing. Seconds. Insanity. What is something really repetitive? Has anyone here met an actual Nazi? If so, what was that experience like? I met a man who is part of the Aryan Brotherhood. He's a lifelong racist, hater of all black people, Jews, women, etc. He is the neighbor of a family member. When I first met him, as a lesbian, I was nervous he'd be an asshole, but of course he's only homophobic towards men, not women. Every time he tried to talk to me, I'd leave the room. Caught him staring at me a few times too. Creepy mofo. No, but a bunch of neo-Nazis. Never met one knowingly, but I've heard that there are some small groups in Europe and the US who claim the title. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I've met a distant relative by chance outside of a supermarket once about 15 years ago. Think he was my mom's cousin or something. He was nice to me, being a kid and distant relative. Then my mom told me he was a full-on neo-Nazi, house decked out and all that shit. Never seen or even heard his name mentioned since. What is something that should stop being repeated? The mentality that women cannot be rapists or abusers. History. Humanity. Friends. It wasn't that great when it was new, let alone 20 years later. What major event, discovery, invention do you think that will eventually happen in the next 25 years? Deniers will realize that climate change wasn't a hoax. Too optimistic? AI sentience. Alien life forms and their technology. Time travel. When you think about the good old days, what comes to mind? Climbing trees, playing Pokemon with my bestie, razor scooters, eating ice cream on a hot day. My grandma being alive. Dragging our CRT monitors in mid-towers to a mate's place. Spending the first 3 hours trying to figure out our land settings, then playing Soldat, Unreal Tournament or Diablo 2 till 5 a.m. Walking 6 miles uphill both ways without backpacks in the snow to school. What are some logical explanations for cryptids? Drugs. People exaggerate. Hunting and fishing stories that have slowly changed over time via word of mouth. Older kids trying to scare the crap out of the younger kids late at night around the campfire on camping trips. What made you decide what you wanted to do as a career? I had no money, they had an open position. Now I work in private security. It's what was the easiest way for me to make money. Grew up working on our own old raggedy family cars. Now I can see everyone in America needing to keep their vehicles longer. Find a need and fill it. Money will come. Better wages and benefits than grocery store jobs. Plus, I like driving. Hobbies. I'm a triple major. Do chiropractor. Then I'm gonna have a music degree. Music is my hobby, but I enjoy helping people. So that'll be my job. What is something from your childhood that you really miss? My hair. Unbridled joy. That joy of expectation you felt on Christmas morning. Your birthday. A family vacation that you had been looking forward to. It's just not a feeling I have experienced in adulthood. And it was so full of hope. Having friends. My mom. What is the most idiotic thing you have ever heard? That Bindon got more votes than Obama. People are honest. Flat Earth. Literally anything out of QAnon followers' mouths. If walls could talk, what would they say? Get off your Xbox and out of bed more often. I still couldn't get over a goddamn soul. I'm sick and tired of supporting you. Paint me! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. What movie would you recommend for the first thing played on a new 65 inches OLED TV which is replacing an aging, dying 46 inches TV? And why do you recommend that movie? Lawrence of Arabia, because it's a masterpiece. Porn. Big OL titties are always the best way to christen a screen. Shawshank Redemption. Speed Racer. What smells better than it tastes? Bacon strips. Dogs don't know it's not bacon, but I sure did. Candles. Soap. Cocoa powder. Who was your childhood arch nemesis? These are ducks living in front of my house. Every time when I returned from school, they attacked me from the back. But now I've grown up, and they attack anyway. Jenna. She slapped me once. She was always very mean to me and made fun of me. She started an ignore me movement that took off and even the teachers joined. I went weeks without any interaction until I dropped out and got my GED. Myself honestly. An evil bitch named Shayna.